In this video, I'll help you unlock the math skill finding the area of a circle. To master this lesson, I'm going to show you two simple keys, which are the exact pieces of information you need to make this skill feel easy to learn. I've refined these keys over 10 years of teaching, and once you understand them, you'll remember the formula because it finally makes sense. In this section, you will learn where this skill is used in the real world and the prior knowledge needed to discover the formula. Here's a challenge. Imagine you're entering a competition. Everyone is given 60 meters of fencing. Your goal? Build an enclosure that gives you the largest possible area. You can choose any shape you like. A square, a rectangle, a triangle, or something else. Pause the video and decide what shape you would pick. Let's see the answer. Even though every shape uses the same 16 meters of fencing, the circle encloses the greatest area. That's why circles are everywhere, from wheels, pipes, stadiums, and water tanks, because it uses the least amount of material whilst having the largest area. But here's the challenge. Unlike rectangles or triangles, a circle has no straight lines. So how did mathematicians discover the area formula? That's exactly what we're going to figure out. To do that, we first need to remember two important facts. First, what is the name of the perimeter of a circle? That's right, it's called the circumference. Second, how do we find the circumference? There are two equivalent formulas. Circumference equals pi times the diameter, or circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. These are the same formula because the diameter is simply twice the radius. If we remember these two ideas, we'll have everything we need to discover one of the most famous formulas in mathematics, the area of a circle. In this section, you will learn how the circle formula was discovered and the exact steps to solve problems. Now comes the exciting part. Instead of memorizing the formula, we're going to discover it. Let's start by drawing a circle with its center marked. Now we'll draw lots of concentric circles inside it. We form these rings inside the circle. There's just one problem though. These rings are still curved, and curved shapes are difficult to measure. So what if we could actually straighten them? Let's cut all the rings here and carefully unravel them. Watch what will happen. Each ring becomes a straight strip. As we keep unraveling the rings, they become longer and longer. Notice, we're not changing the area of the circle, we're simply rearranging the same pieces into a new shape. Eventually they stack together to form a shape that's almost a triangle. Now here's something interesting. The largest ring came from the outside of the circle. So when we unravel it, what is the length of the largest ring? Yes, it's the length of the circumference. That means this side is 2 pi r. Next, the final measurement needed. What will this measurement be? It comes from the original cut, doesn't it? This comes from the center of the circle to the edge. And the distance is the radius. We can write this on the diagram as r. And one final thing to note, if we made our rings thinner and thinner, those tiny steps would disappear, leaving us with a perfect triangle. Now everything falls into place. We already know how to find the area of a triangle. Area equals half times base times height. Our base is the radius, and our height is the circumference. So let's substitute them into the area formula. Now let's simplify. Because everything is multiplying, we can multiply in any order. Let's multiply the numbers first. 1/2 multiplied by 2 becomes 1. So they disappear. Then we have r times r. Using our index laws, that becomes r squared. Finally, we don't write the multiplication sign in algebra, leaving us with one of the most famous formulas in mathematics, a equals pi times the radius squared. Notice something important. We didn't memorize the formula. We built it from ideas we already knew. Whenever you're asked to find the area of a circle, follow these 4 steps. Step 1, write down the formula. Step 2, identify the radius and substitute it into the formula. Step 3, use your calculator to evaluate the expression. Step 4, give your answer in the required form, either rounded to the requested number of decimal places or leave it in terms of pi if instructed. You now know all the key information on this concept. However, can you solve all exam style questions? Watch this next video to master questions easily.